It's your boy DisBearity. I'm here to bring you guys some news on Skulltaker for Omens of Destruction. Now, keep in mind, disclaimer here, I actually did this video kind of basically like the day of Skulltaker's release, but during the whole recording process, my microphone kind of went out, and then like I had 20 minutes of footage just basically muted for the most part, and I just kind of like took my soul out of me. I was like, you know what, not gonna do it. But then I was like, no, I can't do that to y'all. I'm a big Total War guy, and I love corn. So I say, you know what? Let me go ahead and let's go ahead, and get it going today, right? So I am going to go over this section pretty quickly because I'm going to be going over a lot of things when it comes to Skulltaker, or at least going over like the major adages to the game here. So with Skulltaker, Skulltaker the Hero Slayer, his main job or playstyle is to basically go for the enemy heroes. He goes for the enemy heroes, kills them, takes their skull. He gets buffed, or buffs, however you want to say it. So this is his model right here, the 360-degree view. Pretty cool, really nifty. I do like the model a lot. As a corn guy, I'm not trying to simp, but as a corn guy, I like his model. So, as you see here, again, his playstyle. He's if you ascend to the exalted position of corn's champion, those who are assured to be lethal in every regard, a force of demonic destruction, Skulltaker excels at hunting down and dueling enemy lords before cleaving through the ranks of troops with his two-handed Slayer Sword. And his abilities include the Slayer Sword, which is an active augment. Skulltaker's Flaming Demonic Sword applies a day's effect, reducing the target's weapon strength and armor piercing damage while boosting his own armor, piercing, and weapon damage. So that's really cool. A good debuff there. Cloak of Skulls, passive. Imbued with Corn's might, Skulltaker Cloak greatly boosts the ward save and spell resistance. Bloody Onslaught, which is an active ability. Skulltaker gains increased armor piercing, melee damage, and immune to flanking attribute. Now his campaign mechanic is the Cloak of Skulls, as you guys see here. That's literally his cloak, and of course there's skulls on him. They're there. So Skulltaker's gameplay loop revolves around seeking out the strongest opponents. And it says right here, at the outset of the campaign, players will see that all foreign lords on the map are marked with champion's essence resource above them. To collect this rare resource, Skulltaker must defeat those powerful enemies in battle. Once claimed, this resource enhances the abilities of Cloak of Skulls, which features multiple skulls at various levels. So it's actually, it's pretty damn interesting. So with this DLC that comes out, Corn is finally getting a lot of added features, of course, including legendary heroes. So you got Skyla. Skyla is a legendary hero who is also, I believe, a Chaos Spawn. And if I recall, this Chaos Spawn was a thing, but it's just a mindless beast now, so they just go around and attack and do deadly things. And so when it comes to Skyla's playstyle here, kill for Corn explosion spell, mindless and savage. Skyla produces an explosion from his body, causing severe destruction and sending nearby enemies into a rampage. Then you have Serpentine Tail, passive AoE Hex, whipping his huge tail, he inflicts direct damage and radius around him. You got the Brass Collar Corn, passive augment, imbued with his master's hatred of magic. Skyla's Brass Collar grants enhanced ward save and magic resistance based on the number of kills he achieves. And then Crimson Juggernaut ability, a nigh unstoppable force. Skyla gains increased speed, charge and charge bonus, all whilst gaining glorious attribute charge. Then we have another one here, which is actually probably my personal favorite, which is Scar, Blood Wreath, or Wrath, legendary hero, looking pretty cool. This Chaos Warrior dude, Scar is a skilled and brutal combatant known for his savage and bloodthirsty nature. Now, if I recall, this guy is basically a anti-infantry legendary hero. You send him into the front line, he against infantry, he's going to shred, because that is his job. So as you guys see, just right here, he specializes in anti-infantry and armor piercing, making him highly effective at cutting down high-tier armored infantry with ease. Now, his moves and abilities include Bloodthirst. The more murderous Scar is in battle, the more he heals, allowing him to continue to slaughter in Corn's name. So it kind of feels like you're like a vampire contestant, You're in the battle, you're healing, but of course there's always a cap. Bloodborne, passive ability. When Scar's health drops low, he receives a burst of health, the quantity which directly tied to his Bloodthirst ability and the number of which units he has previously killed. Scaramos Butcher's passive ability, ever keen to strengthen his bloodthirsty herd by culling the weak. He provides nearby troops with a passive bonus that grants nearby friendlies increased weapon strength and armor thundering. Inevitable Horror, which is the active ability, reduces leadership increases the fatigue of enemies around him, making them easier for Scar and his minions to finish off and break. And then last but not least, Bloodstorm Blade's actability. His unique archaic weaponry grants significant damage and anti-infantry bonus for a short duration. And then now we have a normal Khorne Lord, y'all. This guy here is the Bloodspeaker. Cruel instigators. The Bloodspeaker drives others to extreme efforts in their quest to become more Khorne worthy. They're priests and zealots who drive those around them to acts of frenzied worship, promising glory, demanding obedience, and threatening punishment for the weakness or failure. So look at that, dude. I mean, that's really nice. Again, these are really nice additions that Khorne has always needed. So I accept this. And you don't have to accept it. I have to accept it. And I have to approve. I'm just kidding. All right, the Blood Beast, which is a unit here. Big savage unit. Big boy, what we call him here. Now, as you guys see here, among Khorne's cursed followers, these creatures stand out as both most brutal and mysterious. Their true nature remains unclear, whether they're demons or mortals unknown. Resembling massive ape-like monsters, they excel in powerful charges and deal devastating armor-piercing damage. So, you know, I believe they feel like a single unit entity, possibly. So it's pretty cool. I like what I'm seeing. Now, the Slaughter Brute. Another big boy here. The Slaughter Brute is a towering chaos beast overflowing with muscle and aggression. Those who attempt to control these savage creatures with ordinary methods often meet a grisly fate. As Slaughter Brute will tear apart anyone who tries to break its will. Only through sorcery can its mind be enslaved, bound to Chaos Champion. So, in order to control it, they have to use Chaos Sorcery in order to keep it under grip. Now, Khorngors, as you guys know, they're pretty cool beastmen. Say it like that. That's all I can really say. You know, they're aggressive, hard-hitting, and I believe they have Vanguard deployment. So let me check and see them, make sure. As they take damage, special ability activates, making them temporarily unbreakable. But with two-handed weapons, they excel at delivering armor-piercing melee attacks. Additionally, they do have Vanguard deployment. Allows them to be positioned outside the deployment zone and give them tactical edge. And then, I believe this is the second to last one here. We got the Wraithmongers. Really cool dudes. These Chaos Warriors are fierce and skilled fighters. Fueled by their devotion to Khorne, their savage bloodlust make them brutal in battle, and they hold disdain for anyone they see as weaker. Their madness only deepens after surviving a night against demons. And then Skull Reapers unit. Skull Reapers are massive elite Chaos Warriors clad in armor, half-plate Chaos armor, and gifted with mutations that amplify their combat abilities. Each Skull Reaper is as powerful as Chaos Champion. Only the Wraithmonger outrank them in strength and status. They are cost-effective anti-infantry units similar to Chaos Warriors of Khorne, but with less armor and dual-wielding weapons. So, what they're doing is that they're doing Khorne legacy updates now. Like every faction, like every DLC, they're doing a big major change to this faction. And so now we have the Skull Throne, which is what they're changing, which is a really good change. So, with the Skull Throne here, you can now purchase rewards using skulls. With the amount you spend unlocking higher tiers of rewards, this creates a progression loop that transforms what was once a single button into a dynamic feature offering varied benefits such as bonuses to armies, growth, control, corruption, stats, and more. Recognizing that the previous version of Skull lacked choices for the players, we set out to enhance its usefulness and value. As a result, there are now 10 unique Skull Throne actions available, allowing players to unlock higher tier actions by spinning their skulls within the Skull Throne. So, you know, the more skulls that you stack on, the more that you can use it. You guys can take a bigger look at this here. That's pretty cool. Like what I'm seeing here. Can't wait for this DLC to pop up next week, honestly. So, with that said here, Unholy Manifestations. Wielding the power of God should feel more useful, so we've taken some steps to improve the rewards as giving the UI a good tidy up. So, Eternal War, base reward spawns army to fight at source. Upgrade reward spawns army to fight at force in campaign movement range after battle, 25%. Horde's Glare. Base rewards take control of Unoccupied Ruin. Upgrade rewards take control of Unoccupied Ruin, and Occupied Ruin will be a tier 2 settlement. Now, the Slaughter Incarnate. Base rewards. Character experience gain plus 150% for 3 turns. And again, if you, for the upgraded version, 300% for 3 turns. And then Call a Battle. The settlement will be raised, target settlement will be raised, and target settlement's province will become fully Khorne corrupted. And then economy-wise, our goal is to improve the clarity of the Khorne sacking post-battle economy. Now only recruitable buildings, landmarks, and resource buildings generate passive income. Khorne's primary economic infrastructure focuses on increasing the global amounts gained from sacking, looting, and post-battle loot. An army upkeep is now easier to manage by increasing your bloodletting level or in constructing upkeep reduction buildings. It has become simpler for the sack and loot economy to thrive. During turns of downtime between battles, this includes the blood host, which no longer incur upkeep costs. Additionally, recruitment costs have been reduced to better align the value with units. The recruitment cost of units is no longer set twice their value, now matches their base custom battle income. Okay, so yeah, basically, as you guys see here, they really went ham and they changed a lot of things about Khorne and for this DLC here. Blood hosting, the bloodletting, the buildings, the dynamic forging, and the technology tree. The technology tree, looks pretty neat, looks pretty cool. It did feel kind of weird, but I'm glad that they went ahead and separated it between two functions. As you guys see here, they have this is technology that provide focus and bonuses. Each tier requires a certain number of battle victories to unlock. The bonuses are similar, so stuff like that, So seeing the change here and seeing what they're doing is just phenomenal work. So what we're going to do here is that I'm going to be switching it up to the Khorne showcase here for Skulltaker, and we're going to see what's going on with our main man here, y'all. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this interview for Skulltaker, y'all, or showcase.
The footage of Owen to Destruction. This was recorded months in advance, so there's still some placeholders in game. We're really hard at work right now and can't wait for you to get your hands on it at release.
All right.
Hunter,
I'm with it.
Deliberate, relentless.
The eyes of Khorne blaze down upon us.
Absolutely proficient in killing.
Seek out your prey, bring it down, bask in the favor of Khorne.
So let's
yes,
get
sir.
Reaping those skulls, humiliating those lords, and showing off that fancy cloak.
Uzo the Skulltaker. Really fucking whatchamacallit, he's always getting pummeled down in like every kind of sense.
Izu the Skulltaker.
What's his name? Albrecht? Yeah, Albrecht. See, that's how much I don't play with these guys. Play Albrecht.
Champion of Khorne.
Ooh, that tongue action there. Ooh.
His presence in the known world will chill
I like
the
it.
chainmail of any champion, as he seeks out worthy champions to display their skulls on his trophy case of a cloak. Those unlucky enough to start their journey in Lustria will come face to face with him. Before we begin, if you're seeking a full list of updates coming with Omens of Destruction, check out our blog through the links below.
Yep.
We began our campaign at Hualotl in the Guanji Valley, a beautiful sunny climate for slaughter. Skulltaker is first and foremost a fighter, with
13.
increasing his
Okay.
campaign movement range and line of sight, allowing him to focus his efforts on his target. Basically, don't get in his way.
Spicy.
Surrounded by disciples of Tzeentch, we quickly moved over to Queertax for the first step of our skull harvest. It was a modest result, which we raised for an additional Bloodhost army, expending our skulls in return for more momentum on the map. Our second attack was on Chakwe, and by this point, the lands had begun to bleed through with our
Wait, if I remember, did this star position always have Zeech here, or is this for this campaign though, or for this DLC? They're switching out some things. I mean, I don't mind there being a little bit of Zeech there, a little bit of Skaven there, So that's kind of interesting. I like this. This is in Lustria.
The distant roars of the lizardmen just north.
But if I'm
of
wrong,
us
let me know in the
as well.
comment section, y'all, if I'm wrong.
The result of Bretonnian maniacs crusading through the jungles. But they've stepped too far into these lands, and they don't know what awaits them. And so, turn 8. We've made our first attack on Albrecht's faction, raising Zahatek and spawning yet another Bloodhost army.
Skulltaker is a Khorne faction, so he abides by similar rules. You will be expanding towards your enemies, you will take over their settlements, you will sacrifice and raise them in the name of Khorne. However, we've introduced an interesting twist on this premise related to Skulltaker's Cloak of Skulls.
More on that in just a moment. We're playing a bit of a balancing game with our resources. Skulls provide us with Bloodhost armies, but we've got other uses for skulls now. Let's send one of our followers up to the settlement of Bragon to recover our lost skulls. It'll also provide a nice blow to Alberic, as raising a settlement now leaves it uninhabitable for other factions for a few turns.
That's actually nice.
That was terrible, sorry.
That's actually...
What about?
Bragon. That was terrible, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. It's fine, I need
Okay.
to Outbreak
Really?
is our first
I
encounter
mean,
with
yeah.
a legendary lord. His reputation on the field means he is worth more to us than a generic lord. Defeating him will earn
Facts.
Skulltaker
60.
60 points of champion essence, which we can spend on buffs through our Cloak of Skulls mechanic.
Okay.
His army is big though, so for now we'll leave him to his ruins and target Laxlam. There is another tasty Bretonian skull there I can harvest, worth 16 champion essence. Bit of an easier target for us at this stage of our campaign.
Bet.
According to lore, the Skulltaker is a duelist. What he usually does is when, for example, Khorne forces are besieging a fortress, he stands before the gates of the fortress on his own and he issues a challenge.
Okay.
Sooner or later, someone marches out to face him and they lose. Always, invariably. You will see.
I mean, like,
each
Shield's
of
ever
them
gonna win.
carries a different amount of champion essence, which depends on their level of.
You know, that kind of reminded me of. They kind of remind me of Total War 3 Kingdoms. You know, dueling moments or whatnot. This look. I mean, that would be cool if they kind of brought that back in Total War 3. But you know, probably won't. Yeah.
Experience and on the victories that they fought. This is a resource that you will gain once you face them in battle and you defeat them. And you will use this champion essence to enhance the skulls on the cloak. Each of the skulls is giving you different bonuses. You can unlock bonuses, you can further upgrade them. So this is actually a chief part of your gameplay loop. Be on the lookout for meaty enemy lords with a lot of champion essence. Attack them, gain their champion
A lot of
essence,
toughness, though.
become stronger, and seek other prey for you to hunt down.
Our Cloak of Skulls holds many abilities in its noggins. For example, the Cloak
Power.
of Skulls
Cloak of
ability
Skulls,
increases
plus
our
25
armor
missile
and missile
resistance.
as well as making
Immune
us
to flanking,
immune to
okay.
flanking. My original Bloodhost armies are clinging on by their claws, but they make up for the lack of recruitment I've made. Let's burn them up in one final battle and replace them as we move up north. Oh, hello Empire.
Oh, there goes our
What's
huntsman.
this? Another tasty skull worth 16 essence points. Well, that'll take us past our threshold for the next skull on the cloak. I don't think I can turn that down. Let's give chase.
Okay.
My favorite unit of the Skulltaker is the Blood Beasts of Khorne. Huge, brutish, ape-like monsters that are exceptionally good on the charge. They've got armor-piercing damage, they induce fear in their enemies, and they have a particularly cool animation.
Okay, that is cool.
They're particularly fun to use against goblins.
Goblins, you say? I hear rumors of goblin armies up in the old world.
Oh, there's
Perhaps
yeah,
good
there is
spot for
a.
some champion hunting.
Wait, now question is,
Perhaps
can you
even a
teleport?
Cathartic trip. I'm sure he'd like to meet the official 100th legendary lord. That is decided, right? Skulltaker? No one's going to question me. Oh, Marcus is making his way downtown. Let's move out the way and get some recruitment going for a welcome party.
The Khorngors, in comparison to the Pestigors and Zangors, bring forward a more aggressive, hard-hitting role. They feature all the best benefits and qualities of the Mark of Khorne, and when they've taken enough damage, their ability will trigger, which will further enhance their melee prowess.
Okay, I like that.
Emperor's forces are skulking around our lands. He'll likely regrow in strength, but with a higher population of skulls north of us, I think we'll head in that direction. I have something in mind for when Outbreak is worthy of my attention, but let's also arrange some backup.
The Bloodspeaker is a new lord that plays a supportive role for Khorne. He specialises in buffing units around him, and when mounted, he adds that mobility.
So it's kind of like
In order
the
to boost
priest.
our numbers further,
It's kind of like the priest for the Empire, you know. So I do like lords like that, you know. Just you don't have to have like just like a pure melee lord or defensive lord, but you know, just that support lord that's he can handle his own, but also buff the units around him, you know, to do So I like that, you know. It's really neat.
we're going to utilize the Skull Throne, a new mechanic for Khorne that lets us spend our harvested skulls on more campaign buffs. Tiers unlock with the more skulls you spend, so once Marcus is defeated, I'll probably reduce my spend on Blood Hosts and begin building my way up the throne.
Okay.
For now, I'll select Blood Ex Nihilo, which spawns us 2 extra units for our new Blood Hosts. Blood may be for the Blood God, but today, the skulls are for our cloak.
I do love that transition there. They do that really well. Them damn peasants. Huntsman destroyed, faction destroyed. Lizardmen? Take them lizard skulls, man. We take
turn 57.
it one at a time.
We're deep in the jungles of Powalaxa. Lizardmen skulls are nice and all, but they look a bit out of place on my cloak. Regardless, the champion essence I've extracted along their sooter-like roads has fully unlocked my target tier, giving us the ability...
Wait. If I just saw what I just saw, right? If you take a lizardman skull, is that actually on the model, or am I tripping? It just took like a second for me like to click in my head. Like, wait a minute. Huh?
Teleport Skulltaker to lords he deems worthy to fight. Bad news for Alberic, who in my absence has been raiding my settlements and attempting to recover his dignity. He's doing fairly well. Oh, he's taking back Laxland. And yep, he's taking out Itza. 96 points of essence. I think it's time. Before our attack, we'll utilize the Skull Throne one more time. We've amassed a hefty pile of skulls and can replenish our army to its full health.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot. That is hot. You better fight that, but yeah. They ain't ready
My
for it.
favourite unit, it's definitely got to be the Slaughter Brute. It's this large hulking creature that has very little that can stop it in combat. Very proficient in taking down its enemies.
You should probably eat that person, not squish them.
Skylar Amphingrim can be summarised as kill for Khorne. It's all we can say. It's going to be the last thing you hear, and he's very good at it.
The lady's blessing is upon us. Not today.
Scar Bloodwrath is our frontline hero who's themed around both self-revival and healing. He's going to be very difficult to take down. The Wrathmongers is a unit that I feel the players will get behind, and that's primarily because of their weapons, the Wrath Flails. That enables them to deal devastating splash attacks and in general just hard armor-piercing attacks.
Yeah.
The Skull Reapers are similar to the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. While they have less armor, they are in no way less effective in combat. They are absolutely devastating against infantry whilst being cost effective.
So they kind of seem like one of those units where you would send in the Chaos Warriors first for the armor damage, and then you send those guys in a secondary line as in to, you know, continue on the damage, but also fight the weakened, I don't know, the weakened units.
I've been
That's
trying
it.
Alberic all battle, but he keeps flying around. This should trap him in position for us. Alberic may have recovered from our initial meeting, but upon his triumphant return, he has only proved himself a more worthy opponent to the Skulltaker. With his glory finally in view, the Cloak of Skulls, will Skulltaker live up to his name?
I don't know. You guys let us know.
In the comments below.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Now.
Okay, so before I head out this video, y'all, let me know what you guys think. Honestly, I mean, like CA, let them know. Let me know, because as you guys know, I'm a big Khorne guy. I love Khorne, and I get that with every DLC they're doing, they're giving us a lot more, for each of these DLC packs. So, and I'm really excited to see like on what the gameplay will feel like. I'm trying to avoid gameplay spoilers, so when I play the game myself, I want to get that first natural feeling, while playing as Skulltaker or even Arbol, So this is a great thing, I'm excited for this DLC. I feel like CA again. Once again, you got to give them props where it's due. they are definitely turning things around. I feel as though, yeah, this is the right take of it, you know. So as again, if you guys enjoy this, consider liking, subscribing, you know, hit that notification bell, you know, be notified on any other future video that I do on my channel. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys ever want to support me, consider becoming a patron or a channel member. You guys have a good night. Stay safe out there. You know, live life. See y'all next time, y'all. Peace out.